know, he'd been a cuckold for years.
Putting a chair in front of my door when I go to sleep, but that's an extra defense.
Are you still in the adult industry, or?
She said monkey. I was gonna say.
No,
I'll tell you what. If she said monkey, we're gonna go find her right now.
Right.
You're gonna say, listen.
No, she said ape.
I don't think so. Bed with itch behind you, wake up with stinky fingers.
I was in the gym non-stop.
You're buff.
I was.
All 140 pounds of you.
Yeah.
No. Give me some meds.
All right, welcome to Sonoman Sideshow, recorded at Grim Reaper Studios, located somewhere at the base of the beautiful Blue Mountains in eastern Oregon. I'm your host, Les the Snowman Kinnear, and tonight we have Brad Fairbank. Kind of lying though, it's not nighttime. We decided to do a coffee show. Usually we'll have a beer in our hand, but we decided to go with the coffee today, and so mine. What kind of coffee did you go with? Mine's from Central Asia, and it's made from a small bush.
Well, mine actually is from the Madagascar animal that you know.
Yeah,
brings
what
out the beans? I don't know what it's called, but and then you dry them and then you actually grind them and.
I like it. I like it.
It's okay. It's kind of expensive, but it's worth it.
Oh Lord! So what's new? Glad you're here. We've got you back in the cycle.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
here you are. What, you know, can we talk about the finger? You've had a hand issue, and you've been fighting that son of a bitch, trying to get it all healthy, and you're still not there yet, but you're getting better.
Oh yeah, it's
because you sent a picture of it, and it was bad.
Well, and and then the bone came out of it. You know, that was the worst part when you lose 50% of your knuckle comes out the side of an incision out of your finger. You know, it was kind of weird. It was freaky, but so it's been a month since I had the surgery, and it's actually, I didn't think it was ever going to get better. It looked like I had a fake finger on there, and it looked disgusting, and it was horrible after that. And then after the bone came out of it, it must have broke off during surgery, and then he sewed me back up, and then the bone worked its way, and then worked its way out of my finger. So when it came out, it actually got better, and they put me on a new medication, and it healed all the wounds up, and its swellings went down, and I have no knuckle anymore in that finger. It's gone. It's like my finger's like rubber. It just wobbles.
So you're gonna want to wear a stent thingy anyways.
I'm gonna have to all the time just for support. So
I mean, it's not funny at all, but it reminds me of my grandfather who had ALS, and he, that's what got him ultimately. Yeah. But when he was just ornery, and he never let anything get him down. So when it first hit his hands, he started tying rubber bands, as they got worse, as they lost,
function, muscle.
Yeah. So that way they at least work, so he could still run a hammer or do whatever, because he was always messing with stuff. And I always think about that, and you have it for real. Like, right. Yeah. That sucks. And our bowling, we were bowling. We bowled a lot. That's over. Yeah. Which I quit anyways because I was so terrible.
That's what started the whole thing.
Actually,
that's actually what started the whole process. And I've talked to 2 different doctors, and they said, that's.
But you also, we were
doing a lot.
We bought brand new heavy ass balls. Went out there and winged it.
We went full bore, and I think that was the problem. We were rolling every day, every.
Well, how many tournaments did we do?
Oh, 100.
We went to state 6 times in 1 month.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's too much.
It's too much.
How's we were talking about we're both still working.
I know.
Although you could retire, but how about RidgeTop TV? How's that taken off? I just want to say, I love it. My daughter started using it.
Oh, good.
She loves it. She can get around that thing. She knows all kinds of stuff that I don't.
Those kids can figure that shit out so fast.
And she found a show, and you know what I do is I go to Rotten Tomatoes and RottenTomatoes.com.
Oh, right.
And they have upcoming, current, and all streaming movies, everything. They tell you by platform. They put them all together. And I just go through and I see something I want to watch.
Search it.
Yeah. And if it's there, I have great luck with Apple TV, HBO, and I think Bailey's been watching a show called with Reese Witherspoon. It's a brand new one, The Morning Show, and I think that one's on Showtime.
We have Apple TV on there.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, not everything, but most stuff. I've watched all kinds of series.
So sometimes you get on there and then there's like the brand new movies that just hit the movie theater. Those are like, some of them are like a canned deal.
Yes.
And then you and then there are advertisements, and then but you wait about a few weeks, and then boom, it's the high definition version of the movie.
Yeah, and again,
I've seen every new movie, like Cocaine Bear. I didn't want to go pay to watch that.
No,
that was stupid. And so I watched it on RidgeTop, but I watched the canned version when it first came out because it was like, I don't care about the visual effects of it.
Yeah.
It was like, I just want to watch the movie, and it was stupid, and it was corny. But things like that, it's okay. But if I want to watch a brand new like Marvel movie or something cool I want to see, I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Well, I still love it. For my UFC stuff, the sporting, it pays for itself just for sporting stuff,
and it's just and you got to find there's the quirks to it. So sometimes if you're watching something and it's like, okay, this is great, and then it just for some reason it stops,
spins and it
or
goes
whatever. So if you go back out and go to the next,
you got to find the right one because they give you multiple choices,
so
and it's all about the feed, baby.
Yep.
And
so
you got
a good feed here, and then all of a sudden the feed stops, so you just go to the next one, and it's. I like it because it's spelled out right there for you. It tells you what you're doing. All
I ever do is update and use the master search.
Master search is master search finds everything.
Coffee cup is a mainstays from Walmart.
Oh, nice.
And we only have one of them because I like the cafe, or like the cafe cups. I like them to be smaller. And one time I put this on the top of the 4Runner, and it was taking Jack down a park, and I drove down, and then the road goes down the hill, and then it meets with the next road there. And right about then, as I applied brakes to turn, I saw this cup come down the windshield, off my hood, onto the street, and then I went out there and picked it up.
And it's perfect.
Yeah, this was a couple years ago.
Wow, you have such luck with weird things like that.
Yeah,
phones and coffee cups, and
I'm special now, though.
Yeah, it's got it.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is the holiday season. We just got through Thanksgiving, and now Christmas is coming. I did get you a Christmas present.
Oh. What the heck?
This is for you.
Oh my God, I love it.
This is from my license plate collection. This is Illinois, land of Lincoln, because you are from Illinois.
Oh my God, I love it.
That's for your man cave.
Thank you.
Well, wherever that is, or the garage, but
right. I love it. Land of Lincoln.
Yeah.
Nice. That's where
I'm not a big fan of Illinois, so I didn't want it up.
Right.
Kidding. No, no. I'm full. I've got more than I need.
Don't worry, I'm not a fan of it either. So.
Hence, you came here 30 years ago.
Right.
Or
That's
whatever.
why I'm in Oregon, and just as bad.
Yeah. Well, let's get to strange news. I have some funny ones. I really bombed last episode with my girls. I had the daughters out here, and they don't really see my humor, I guess. But let's see. Let's start off with this. This was interesting. The tortoise. Where's my tortoise story? Oh, yeah. St. Helena's national treasure, who predates the telephone, is in good health and expected to reach his 3rd century. The world's oldest living land animal, a Seychelles giant tortoise named Jonathan, has just celebrated his 191st birthday.
That's amazing. Wow.
That's an old turtle.
It's an old turtle. Very old.
How big is a Seychelles? It just doesn't say a Seychelles tortoise. I mean, is it big? Could I write it?
Well, I'm just thinking, what was back in 190 years ago?
Yeah.
What he's seen.
Well, that's what they were saying. He was before we had phones. He was alive. This tortoise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's see here.
I'm sure he did the same shit he did when he was 190 years ago as he does now.
Yeah.
Eats and
even
shits. And...
say 180.
Yeah.
180 years ago.
Same
probably. He lives on an island. That's right. I think it's an island. And
it's not the Galapagos Islands, is it?
Something like that. They brought him there to an estate, and he's just been there forever or something like that. But 191.
How do they live to be that old?
And why can't we can that for us?
Oh, let's just cut him open and start taking some of that, whatever's in there.
Would you eat a turtle?
I would eat it if it got me 90 years old.
Well, true. I was going to say,
mean,
I like them.
I'd eat anything if I could live to be 190 years old. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to be 190, but you know.
I know. I do kind of, but
if you stayed like in your 20s for 190 years,
right,
that would be the shit.
But would you want to,
not have any arthritis?
Or we'd be a mess.
Yeah, we'd be
skin.
Oh God.
Lesions.
Oh.
Just crapping ourselves.
Oh, it'd be horrible. Yeah, I wouldn't want it. But yeah, but put me in, 20-some-year-old body.
Yeah.
For 190 years. Man, that would.
I just had my first hemorrhoid the other day. Recently,
Really?
excuse me, last couple months ago.
I don't even know. I wouldn't even know how.
I didn't either. I swear somebody gave it to me because a coworker was telling me about his, and then next thing you know, I started noticing stuff. And anyways.
So what'd you do about it?
I don't want to. Yeah.
Did you cut it off?
Wendy did.
Ow.
No.
Okay,
Joking.
Okay.
Just had a little bit of a, I'm working on it. It's in progress, so.
How do you work on something like that?
It's a different type of show. I don't want to talk about. Okay. Then in Philadelphia, this is interesting just because I once ran the steps up to the Rocky statue there in Philly. Of course, the Rocky statue's not there anymore. It's down below, but I did run the steps. But I saw this article and I saw the video of it. Sylvester Stallone. They have Rocky Day there in Philadelphia, and it's massive. And I just saw him on a stage there at with his statue, and it was just packed full of people. And Rocky Day, they love their Rocky over there.
Wow.
And I ran the steps. I was winded.
Have you seen his new show?
No. Which one?
Tulsa.
Tulsa? No.
Awesome.
Is it really?
It's really good. You'd like it. It reminds me.
It's like a mafia thing.
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
kind of like a cross between Ozark. If you ever watch Ozark,
yeah.
It's like a spinoff of Ozark. And
is he bad though?
Huh?
Is he a bad guy?
No, he's a good bad guy.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, I don't know if I can see Stallone be a bad guy.
He's a good guy. It's actually really. We jumped through it so fast, and it was like the season was over, so it's like we're waiting on the second. It's actually pretty good. It's a real good.
I've seen it advertised.
Do
but
it. Just
try it.
Just it starts out kind of slow, but then it gets really good. You'll like it. It's good.
Yo, Adrian. One other. Let's see. I think this is my last one. Interesting fact. Did you know that I just came across this in a feed, so it could have been fake, but
right.
Did you know that bees can't fly in the dark?
No.
You did know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh, they can't fly in the dark.
Why?
I don't know, but I saw the video, and they would turn the light off, and they'd all go thunk. And turn the light on, they'd all raise up. So I'll put the video on when I edit the podcast.
That is strange.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah, that's it. Wait, no. Let's end on this one.
Okay.
And I really want to end on this one because I'm going to put his mugshot up here on the video because it'll give it more feeling. Arizona man accused of sexual misconduct with a corpse in hospital morgue. An Arizona hospital security guard was arrested this week and charged with 5 counts of crimes against a dead person after his DNA was matched to samples collected from the corpses. And that's what he looks like. He's pissed.
Oh, he looks like oh, God.
Yeah. So he did security in a hospital, and he would do his rounds, and when he'd go through the morgue section, he would just help himself.
What a sick individual.
Yeah. I mean, that's not...
It
doesn't get any stranger than that.
No, and where's that stem from? Or how deep? What? How?
Exactly.
And what would...
Because when you hear stories like that, you can't help but ask yourself, okay, how did you put yourself in that
right,
mood?
How did you get to that frame of mind to do that?
What's the difference between that and anything else that's dead and not, it's just weird. Why would you do that?
Well, he's obviously got a mental illness of some sort.
Or was he misunderstood?
Could have been.
I don't know.
I'm not.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into sports. What are we, week 14 of the NFL? Of course, I do not follow NFL very much at all, but I'll always be a San Diego Charger fan. And
That's
but what's
sad.
going on? What can you give us some sort of like your teams and what's looking good? I know the Jared Michael. I sent him a thing because the Steelers played the other night.
Yeah, they suck.
Sorry, Jared.
You know, it's unfortunate. You know, I'm a Cowboys fan, always have been.
Not a
the-
Chicago.
Yeah, no, the Bears.
Bears fan.
No. And you know, it's been a pretty good season so far. I mean, unfortunately, they've lost a lot of quarterbacks this year. A lot of teams are taking hits on quarterbacks, which kind of is kind of a bummer, you know, because it kind of keeps people out of you know, contentions for what they thought were going to happen, like with Aaron Rodgers and all these.
Yeah.
A lot of quarterback
Is
injuries.
he done
this
or
year.
what?
He's not coming back this year.
Yeah.
I think he won't. I don't even
But
know if
he's
he'll come back next year.
Definitely on.
Oh, absolutely. He's 38 years old, and he's definitely on the decline. Especially with an Achilles injury like that, I don't see him.
They never heal.
No, he got some special doctor though. I mean, this guy's done.
He knows how to make it all.
He's evidently figured out a way
Reattach.
to reattach it without, and it heals really good. And people that had it done, he did Brady's,
That's incredible.
and so he's just one of the best in the world, and he did it. And so he's got a procedure that he only he does, and so it's supposed to be top notch.
Nice.
But as far as what's going on here, we're getting ready to get into the playoffs, so it's going to get pretty interesting. You know,
How are my Chargers doing?
Yeah, yeah, they got some issues.
They're the best. I've always, when I used to watch them, I told everybody that they were the best 500 team in football.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they are.
Nothing's changed. Okay.
Nothing's changed. So they're still there.
Herbert's healthy though.
Yeah, I'm looking at the powerhouse teams. You know, it's the Chiefs don't look very good this year. I mean, they're losing some games they shouldn't lose, and they're just not there. But you know, you have the Eagles, who I think have got some flaws. The Cowboys play the Eagles this week, so the Cowboys are a 3.5 point favorite over the Eagles this week, which is weird. Well, I think it's just because it's a home field thing. But Eagles lost last week to San Francisco, which San Francisco beat the shit out of Dallas. So your NFC, I think your powerhouse teams are more in the NFC this year. I think the NFC is going to be the one that goes all the way this year for sure. You've got some good teams in the AFC.
Do you gamble? Do you do like sports?
Every day. Every day.
Stupid question.
Yeah.
Who do you use?
Huh? I use Underdog.
Underdog. Okay.
I love Underdog. And
There's a bunch of them, and I know.
Yeah, and I don't like all this. I've done all the other ones. I like Underdog because it gives you a better chance to. I think it's a more a better playing field for fairness, because you're drafting every game. You draft, so you pick a draft. You get a pick, like I'm a fourth pick, whatever, and then you go up against 6 other players or whatever. So you all get to pick your own player. It's not by money or anything. It's just who's left, and okay, I think this guy's going to do good. So every week, every game, it could, you know, there's games where I've bombed, where I've just like, Thanksgiving was a horrible week for me. I lost a lot of money on Thanksgiving week, but all the other previous weeks I've won money, and I've
like when you bet, where are your numbers? I'm betting $20 a week, and I'm sitting at about $100 or what?
Yeah, all my games, I do $3 and $5 games.
Yeah,
that's all I do.
Okay,
I don't do anything else. I accidentally did a $25 game the other day, but it was because I was on it, and one of the dogs was doing something outside, and I ran out to go do something with the dogs, and accidentally must have hit
$25.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, 25, and I didn't get. And what sucks is I didn't get to pick any of my players.
Right. So it's just a random.
It was just a computer did it all, and I'm like in last place for $25. It was a total. And that kind of pissed me off. But I have been winning. I screenshotted one time that I was right there at the $30,000 mark.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was.
Wow, threw me there.
No, I was winning 30,000. So I was like in 5th place or something like that, and I was up. But after the games go on, you know, as it flips and flops so fast. One player catches the ball, the next player, and then it's boom, you're down here, then you're up here, then you're down here, then you're up here. You just don't know where you're going to fall. But one of these times, I'm going to fall on that
Well, how much money you have on the books? What have you won? Cash?
I don't know. Oh, it's kind of like Wild Horse, you know. It's like we paid out this much money.
Yeah.
They don't tell about how much they
Yeah.
gave it in, you know. But I don't know.
I still do DraftKings. That's the only one I do because I don't like to spend a lot of time and I don't want to learn any of the other ones. So I just go in and I just do it for fights. And I pick the winner. That's it. That's all I do.
Oh, that's pretty
and
simple.
I go through the whole card,
Mhm.
and even if I don't know them, my philosophy is I pick the underdog always. I don't know who they are, underdog, until I know them, and when I know them, then I'll make my decision from there. But if I don't know them, underdog always, and that's probably. But I started with $25, and I'm at 100 and whatever 150 or something like that, which is fun because I only do it. But I can't place the bet from my house. I have to get in the car and go down to Burger King.
Location thing.
That drives me nuts, But,
yeah, I can do it from my house, but if I move in certain places, it won't let me. It's something to do with like I live on the reservation. There's
exactly.
Something
schools
weird.
are right over
so
here.
I live on the border, so I'm fine. But if I drive out that way, it won't let me.
Yeah.
It won't let me hook up, and it's just very bizarre.
It is, and it's frustrating. You know what I want, but I can't afford it. I want Starlink.
Really?
Just my own. Like, I mean, I've heard that it works good. So if you just need
what would you do with it?
nothing, same stuff, but it would be,
Oh.
I wouldn't have to, because like I just don't like my internet provider for one.
Right.
And Starlink, I'm like, well, you can just take it, up to Indian Lake. I could have my internet,
Right.
I could have it wherever, but it's expensive. So
It's expensive, but I've heard it works really well.
that's what I've heard. Yeah. So I'm like, I want that, but
Mhm.
then I looked at the package and it was $150 a month and it was the plus $5.99 for the equipment.
Right.
And I was like, oh,
yeah. But if you live in a rural area,
yeah, it's
where
worth it.
It's well worth it.
Yeah, because you could do everything.
Right.
Video editing, streaming, everything.
Yeah. If you're like, some dude lives in a cabin that's running off generators and shit like that,
and you're thinking about making bombs and shit.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Because you got to get your research.
You ever
for
seen it
making bombs.
go by at night? Starlink?
Mm-mm.
It's a trip. I've seen it a couple times.
Really?
Yeah, because I like to, stare at the night sky, and I've seen it. One time, Joe and I saw it up at Indian Lake. That was bizarre, but because it was the first time. But I saw it right out here one night, and it's just a line of lights. I mean, long. Like it's long because you're down here and you're like, that looks weird.
And that's Starlink.
Yeah, it's all these little satellites together. Something like that.
Like daisy chained together.
Yeah, I think that's how it works. I don't know. Damn Elon.
Is that Elon? He's
All right.
Yeah. He's
Getting
amazing.
over to real quick. Now, of course, I love UFC. That's the combat sport that I watch. We've got Fight Night tonight. It looks like the main event is Song Yadong and Chris Gutierrez. The co-main is Anthony Smith and Khalil Roundtree, and then blah blah blah. The undercard. There's several people there. Tim Elliott. I want to watch him, and a couple other people. But interestingly enough, this Anthony Smith, he's also a broadcaster, and he's 37 wins, 18 losses. I mean, that's a lot of fights total.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah.
about that time they start going, you're done.
Yeah.
Because you can only get knocked out so many times before there's damage. And
Sure.
so anyways, what an interesting record. But have you ever heard of that fighter called Clay Guida?
Mm-mm.
Right now he's old, 39 or whatever, long hair, just a little fighter, and he's been in the UFC longer than anybody, continuous. He has the record, and he's same record like this, 37, 36 wins, and he lost the other night, and 19 losses, and so that's the record for losses that they've ever had in the UFC. But they keep him around because he's a crowd favorite,
and he makes money.
He sells money,
Right.
and
Yeah.
But when I watched him, or maybe he's 40, but when I watched him, I'm like, damn, how does he do that? He got in the I think he got in the UFC in the early 2000s, like 2003 or something,
That's
or something
incredible.
like that. And I'm like,
to punish yourself
that's my point. It's
to get that far and have that.
we'll see what he's like at 65.
Oh, 65. He's going to be a hurting unit. I'm telling you, he's going to be.
Yeah.
Because I'm paying for the shit I did,
Right. Just
way back when.
wear and tear.
Yeah,
period.
and it's just like all of a sudden it's like,
So yeah, UFC, and there's a bunch of good cards coming up in the near future, including our buddy bantamweight champion SUGA Sean O'Malley. So that'll be fun. But also, I don't watch bare knuckle really, but I'm learning about it. And there's a champion in there called his name's Mike Perry, and Mike Perry used to be in the UFC and eventually got cut. So he went over to bare knuckle, and he's just kicking ass over there. And all it is boxing with no gloves. Right. But they're wrapped. They do wrap them, but they're not the so
padded. They're not the padded.
No, and it's I think it's quick. It's only like 3 2-minute rounds, so it's geared for fast, knockouts. Anyways, this guy's killing it. I've been watching him, and he cracks me up. He's one of the funniest guys he's just he puts off like he's been hit too many times, but it's like he kind of knows that he's that way. And anyways, he's selling a lot of tickets over there at bare knuckle, and bare knuckle's growing, and several other older UFC folks are starting to go that way because it's another paycheck before you're done. Yeah, because the shelf life is very limited,
very short.
Anyways, I had to bring up Mike Perry. How's your parents doing over there in Illinois? Speaking of Illinois, because they moved back a few years ago.
Yeah, they're doing good.
They still want to come back here.
I don't know.
They need a place here and there.
Yeah, they need.
They could stay with you, but
yeah.
I got to make a big announcement right now. This is huge, guys.
Okay.
Let me. So, I was gifted a very, very nice guitar. Is a brand new 2023 Gibson Les Paul standard, AAA top, lemon burst finish. I had the antique tuners installed, and so shout out to Dante. My dad said, I want you to start playing music again. And I was like, because I don't. I mean, this is just for show. My fingers are soft and it hurts. Yeah. And he said, I've researched these Les Pauls, and go pick one. And so I was like, what? I thought he was teasing me because they're expensive. Anyway, so there it is. It's gorgeous. It sounds amazing. I really like it. A long time ago, I had an Epiphone Les Paul, but never a real Les Paul. So adding to the collection now.
Wow.
So kind of stoked about that. And then sticking with music, here's something that I thought was, it's interesting to me. Nobody else is going to be that, but hold your ears for a second because this is going to be a little rough. But my grandfather, who was a musician, and that's his fiddle right there. His dad gave him that fiddle. He played piano all the time. All of us kids remember him playing piano growing up. But I remember one time I went to his house and he's like, son, I got this. He gave me this cassette tape and it was a recording. And he had done the cassette tape on it says 1939. So in 1939, my grandfather and his bandmates, the band was called Ben Chastain and the Rhythm Rascals. They went into a studio and made an album, just a couple of cuts, 2 cuts. And so my grandfather's nephew, so I guess he'd be a cousin of mine, he went to a studio there in Alabama recently, Alabama, and had it taken from that old scratchy record and put into digital MP3.
Right.
And then he sent it to all of us. So it's really kind of cool to hear my grandfather's voice from 1939, and he's jamming, playing songs. So I'm going to play a little bit of it. It's really scratchy, so I can't.
That's pretty cool.
So let me.
Is aching for breaking each bound. Who's sad and blue? Who's crying too?
Come on, Willie.
Like
Talking Tolly.
Over you.
All right. I will stop. The scratching is a little bit.
That's pretty good.
I think I'm going to put that at the end of my episode in its full. But yeah, it's hilarious. And I can hear him, that chipmunky 19, the way the thing's recorded, but I hear his voice. Like, I know his voice, you know, and so it's cool. So thank you to Jimmy Roundtree for sending that out. Definitely going to keep that around forever and use it. Yeah, that was kind of cool. Did you go hunting this year?
No.
Because of your hand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to be going. Had a hunt in Illinois, and that kind of.
With over there at your buddy's house area?
Yeah. So I had bought my tag, and so I sent him a thing. I don't know if they ever gave me my money back or not. I'll have to. I'm gonna call him, but I told him that, you know, because of what was going on, I had planned, and I sent my tag back. So they evidently were. I think they were supposed to. They said they'd refund my money, but I never seen anything. But I don't know. I got to double check. So
yeah. Right on. I know. I get. You know what I do is Wendy and I both have done this. We were talking about you place the $25 bet. Amazon, we'll order 2 of something because I didn't. You know, I don't know how we do it.
It just happened to me. I just got a package this morning, and I was pissed off because I got some jewelry. Some Chinese jewelry that I was going to wear with my outfit for my Christmas party. Ended up ordering 2 of them, and I don't want 2 of them. So I've done that so many times. I get double. I'm like, oh, I've scored. They sent me an extra one. Then I get to looking at my bills like, no,
yeah.
you bought 2.
Yeah.
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth connected.
So, my Bluetooth is being weird. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's frustrating and expensive. Mine was these mic stands, right? These are Amazon basic cheap mic stands.
Right.
I ordered 2 of them. I got 2 cases. I mean, 12 in a case, or 6 in a case, excuse me. So I gave them to musician Joe, who has a band, and I said, you guys need some mic cases because.
But you paid for them?
Just the one, though. Yeah.
Just the one case?
Yeah, because I told Wendy, I said, go look at that, make sure I didn't get billed twice. They only charged me, it was like $20, and I got 2 cases instead of 1. And I held on to them for a while because I want to make sure they weren't going to charge me, and they never did. So
sometimes that happens.
I wanted 2 mics, and I got 2 cases, and the mics were, that's what it was. The mics were like, let's say $18 a piece. So I ordered these 2, and they came in they guess they couldn't do 1, and they just sent the box. Or I got a buddy at the Amazon Fulfillment Center.
That could be. You could you just stand there looking, waiting for your order.
Yeah.
You just stand there.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap this thing up. Thank you, Brad, for coming and helping me do the show.
Sure.
It's always fun. All right, tonight I want to thank, I want to thank our guests and listeners and sponsors is Bill Murphy Roofing, Wandering Wizard Concepts, Vertical Jigs and Lures, Liberty Detection Services, DCL Photography, The Shop, DCL.com, Pendleton Outfitters, RidgeTop TV, SouthPac INK, and the JON P. Salter Foundation. That's a wrap, folks. Be sure to catch the next episode. Until then, keep your nose clean if it takes both sleeves and say nice things about us. We're gone. Oh, yeah. Error, not.
Aching for breaking each vow. Who's that